So actually, okay, I have to ask you about this too. So the we were talking about Pacino and stuff, obviously. Both of our one of our favorite actors, obviously.
Yeah,
And The Godfather just had its 50th anniversary this year,
yeah.
which is amazing, classic movie. And
That was a,
now you're doing a show, like I mentioned, The Offer, and you're playing Francis Ford Coppola. And first off, your performance is amazing, and
oh,
it's the way you resemble him too is just you're like the in my opinion like you're like the star of the show because I watch it and like and not even the just show, this show too, even for Fantastic Beasts, which I'll get into after. Your performance is really good. How did you land that role for The Offer? How did that work?
you know what's crazy, man? Like, I never would have. I mean, I don't know about never, but for me, that would be a long shot to play Coppola. Like, I was like, yeah, give me Belushi, or like I've been up for like Kinnison or something like that. For me, that would make more sense. It's almost like they knew it before I did, and they sent me the audition for Francis, and I was like, okay, well, all right, let me see if I can do this. And I got some glasses, and I had the beard, and I put my hair to the side, and it was shaggy, and I was like, holy shit, I look like him.
You scared yourself. You scared yourself.
Yeah, I didn't, I wasn't expecting that. Like, and then I was like, wow, okay, I guess I got a shot here. And then the rest is history. Thanks, man. I'm glad you're digging that performance.
Of course, it's great, man. And did you have to after you got the role? Did you have to spend time with Coppola at all? Did you meet him and did you get to kind of learn?
Did I have to? Man, I would love.
I was gonna say, well, the way I said that. Sorry. Did you?
Yeah, no,
did you do
I
it in
wish.
general?
Man. I got to. Yeah, I hope he sees it. I hope he gives us the stamp of approval. I know that because I did a movie with his nephew, Robert Schwartzman, who's Talia Shire's son. And
Okay,
I did a movie with him called The Argument. And he told me that Coppola, that Francis saw that movie. So he knows of me. I think he liked my performance in that. I don't know how he would feel about that guy playing him in something. But hopefully someday he'll, I'll be able to meet him. I got to meet some other people like through Robert. Talked to James Caan. That was really cool, man.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Josh Duhamel helped me get that connection, which was lovely. Yeah, man, he gave me some really, really good advice about Francis, because Caan like was in one of his very first movies called The Rain People, and so he was really great to talk to. He's known Francis for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then I talked to other people who want to be off the record, but yeah, man, I'm glad you're dinging it. There's a new, what's today? Thursday. There's a new episode out today. When does this? Yeah.
Number 8, I believe, right?
Yeah. This is a good one.
Oh,
this has a great moment with Caan in it. The Sonny character. It's a great moment.
Yeah, the whole cast is great, and like even people that resemble, even like the kid who plays Al Pacino in that too.
Yeah, Anthony Ippolito.
Great, man. Like the way he talks, like the look, everything is so on point with the whole cast, not even just him, but it's very well done, I have to say. When you're doing a show about such an iconic movie, it has to be done well. Like, was that also something too? Like, did you kind of at first going into the show, did you kind of have doubts? Were you kind of nervous even playing such a big figure like Francis Ford Coppola? Like, shit, I'm playing him. I got to do this properly, or people are gonna bash me for this. Like, was that going through your mind?
Oh, absolutely. You like, yeah. It's like you better do a good job, man. You better, and like all those people, me less so. But then you have Pacino, you got Brando, you have James Caan, you have Talia Shire, you have all these people who are playing these parts, and a lot of these people are still living. And So yeah, there's going to be a lot of scrutiny, but so far, man, knock on wood, people are buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, I was. It's a huge responsibility. This is the greatest movie of all time, like, and it's it's like it's just you're playing iconic people, so yeah, you better bring it. And yeah, it's like really classy material, obviously. And Dexter Fletcher, man, what a great director. He's like what you would call, an actor's director,
Mhm.
where he was an actor since he was a kid. He's a great actor. And he instilled everybody with such confidence. Look at Matthew Good's performance.
Mhm.
Just so wonderful. And he's nails it. I hope he gets all sorts of awards. But that was, he talks about that the confidence that Dexter, he just like, from day one, we started rehearsals, and he's like, "You're doing it, man. You're him, man. You're doing it, mate. You're him, mate." It's just like, okay, I guess I'm him. It's just like, it's like he hypnotized me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really great to have a director who's like a real, cheerleader like that, a real coach.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and I think he had a hand in a good hand in the casting. So I think he was rooting for all of us.
Good. That's always nice when a director wants you to be a part of something, because then they will always push you to be your best on screen after, because they really want you there. They have this confidence, like, I can bring the best performance out of you. That's what you want in a director. At the end of the day, you want someone to bring the best out of you.
Yeah, and he's trying to, step up and make a mark, and he's a hungry director where it was like, that's what you want. You want people who are hungry, and they, in the sense that they, they're trying to improve themselves. They're trying to make a splash.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of the actors who are in The Godfather and Francis, he was 30. This was this was like his first major production, and he hadn't had a hit before. Can you imagine that?
Yeah,
Like,
even with Pacino too. That was actually what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
Did you learn a lot of these things, like, on set, like doing the show, like things that, like, wow, I didn't know about that, like, because
well, these things are legends. The fact that, like, I learned that story back in college in acting school, where on the set of The Godfather, Pacino and Francis, both of them were scared about keeping their jobs. They had people waiting in the producers and the studio had people, like an action director, waiting in the wings for Coppola to mess up, because they were like, he can't do action. And who's this short actor nobody's heard of, Pacino. It's like, and then you watch, and in the show, it presents it beautifully. Where it's this crossroads of the narrative of the film and the narrative of what they're going through to make the movie. And so Coppola has to step up, because they're expecting him to fail. They're expecting, and so now he has to prove himself. They're expecting Pacino to fail, so Pacino has to prove himself. And they choose to prove themselves with the scene where Michael has to step up and and be the head of the family by
shooting Sollozzo and
assassinating Sollozzo McCluskey. And so I love how the two worlds collide there. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's an epic. Well, that's one of the best scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah, and then because of that pressure, because they were like, this guy can't do action. Francis was like, screw you, I'm going to give you the best assassination scenes ever, that you've ever seen. And you get the toll booth scene with James Caan. Like, come on. I love that they were like, screw you, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah, I
And
love
that was,
that. So if you didn't get to meet Coppola, then so how did you end up channeling him and learning his mannerisms? How did you just kind of?
wow, that's very nice of you to say that. Yeah, there's a lot of footage. I like, there's a lot of behind the scene footage. I focused on Hearts of Darkness because I had seen that when I was in college. And after seeing that like a million times, I was like, I think I got a sense of Francis here. He likes to be at the center of the hurricane. That's where he does his best work. And I love that, the whole bit where he's creating Vietnam. He's literally creating Vietnam. And he's trying to he's like screaming to somebody to do something. He's like, screw it, I'll do it myself. And he's running and he hits his head on the barn door, fixture. And he's just like, he's like bleeding and he just keeps on going.
That's dedication right there. That's dedication.
Love it, man. And then like, who knows if it was a mistake or whatever, but it's genius to have him in the movie, just being like, keep going, don't look at the camera, just keep going. Like that bit is like, wow. And just Martin Sheen just being like, what have I gotten myself into here? It's amazing. Watched that about 1 billion times. And then when I learned that I got the part, I was like, well, I have to go back before The Godfather. So I watched this. I mean, there's so much, there's a lot of footage that you can find for Francis. And I found this beautiful documentary by George Lucas, which was on the making of the Rain People. And you see Coppola, he's like, in his late 20s, and he's a kid, and he's got to like shave at one point. You see him like without his beard, and
I've never seen that. Man. That must be very disturbing. I have not seen that.
it's surreal. It's strange to see him without his beard. It's like, yeah, it's like a sheepdog or something totally shaved out. It's like, yeah. Whoa. But he looks like very vulnerable, and he is. It's like you see him, all of his angst and you see like it's almost like a therapy session. He's like, he's trying to like, how am I gonna make this movie? And it's a little microcosm of Hearts of Darkness. So that was really helpful to watch that. And man, like when I listen to Coppola talk, because he grew up in New York and during the same time as my father, he's got the same like timbre in his voice and the cadence and so he sounds like he's like my uncle or something. So
okay, that's cool.
I just like, so I just tried to emulate that, hit certain words that he always would kind of, he'd say things like picture. It's like
so it's a little new, like the nuance with the words, yeah.
But it's like very grew up in the 50s, 60s, and so I love that. And so I didn't have to do much. I just kind of turned on that level of the accent and I felt like I just understood the guy. He was like, I'm in the same boat. I'm given this opportunity just like he was given this opportunity to play this part, and so I understood where he was coming from, that he was he was hungry. He really wanted to make something special, make a mark, and that's what I'm trying to do here, with this part and every part after. I'm trying to just do better and better, basically.